But I feel like as long as people are putting like the story and the characters and the production first, it should turn out all right. At least I hope.
Yeah, that's just like how you hear about the movie Solo, right? How that bond.
Yeah,
Yeah, you know why they bond?
I
Because
didn't. I
because
didn't watch it. Yeah.
they was banking on the fact, oh, it's Star Wars, it's gonna make millions. Come to find out, nah, ain't nobody, you know,
Yeah,
it was
names. Yeah, names can only take you so far, and they should have learned this, from the prequel series. Like they might have made some money in the prequel series, but everybody hates those movies.
yeah,
Well, most people anyway. So now they just want a gun for like one movie a year, and like that's not how you do this. Well, not that's not how you get quality products. We know that from like the gaming industry at least, like games like
it's,
Assassin's Creed,
it's
where you
fatigue.
want to make games every year, and like it's oh shit.
Yeah, you get fatigue from it. You get tired of it.
Yeah, you get tired of it.
Yeah,
You need variety in your life,
yeah,
and having a Star Wars film, it's the thing is it sounds, I think, to nerdy geeky people, it sounds cool, when
sounds
one
good
of
on
the
paper.
stuff one of yeah, one of the things that you loved for so long that you couldn't get uh, much access to as a kid, or maybe 10, 20 years ago, and you realize, oh, there's going to be a movie every year. It sounds good, but there's production implications to that, there's story implications to that, and yeah, there's fatigue, and it sucks when those movies don't do well because it cheapens the brand.
Yeah, yeah, big time. It's like, oh, here comes another movie. You know,
Yeah,
it's just wild. So, but anyway, I'm kind of hoping Captain Marvel does well. The trailer has me hyped.
yeah,
Um,
me as well. Yeah,
like Venom, I'm not really hyped to see it, even though it is one of my favorite super villains. Why? Because they kind of just say, okay, well, we're not gonna use Spider-Man. We're gonna make up something, and we're gonna like no Venom. If you're gonna have Spider-Man, you're gonna eventually need Venom. Just like you have Venom, you're gonna have to address Spider-Man. So it's like, you know, I already think it's gonna bomb, but I might still go ahead and see it off the fact of fandom. So I really hope that it's well. So
yeah. Venom, I'm also lukewarm on it. I'm gonna wait for reviews. I mean, a lot of things these days, I wait for reviews. Getting hyped is just like a one-way street to disappointment, bro. Like things come out, the trailers be all hype and like all well produced, and you watch the thing, and it's like I could have spent my money on something else, or I could have spent 2 hours on something else and been happier. Um, but that's how it is. It's all hype culture these days with these things.
yeah, it's very unfortunate. Like fast food content. That's what it is.
Yeah,
So hopefully, Marvel know how to get that in. I'm hyped for Avengers 4, obviously. So I'm like, you gotta see how this could possibly play out. So that's why I think Captain Marvel's gonna be a
yeah.
big movie.
Avengers, yeah, is
And I think
we
people,
gotta see. Is
yeah, and I seen people online like this. You probably seen the tweet, but this one lady, she was counting the words. Samuel L. Jackson had more words than her in the trailer, and it's like that's what you gotta. It's like people are finding shit, looking for shit to be mad about. Like, of
wait,
course he's gonna
more
have.
words than who?
It was some tweet online, and I still got it. This lady, she was counting the words in the trailers, and she got upset at the fact that Samuel Jackson had more words than Captain Marvel in the movie, in the trailer.
Jeez, like why would you even like embark on that adventure in the first place? Like, why
Yeah,
do you want to be counting words?
you know why? You know why? Because people need shit to be mad about. So you know,
The thing is, it's like Samuel L. Jackson, he's just hyped as a person, like, and you want to be selling your movie, like I got a bit hyped when I saw Samuel L. Jackson. It doesn't mean that I'm gonna downplay how well Alison Brie is gonna do, and the movie's gonna be about her. She's the title character.
well,
But why you would want to count like how many words he said
he,
compared to her?
we,
Yeah.
we're gonna get to that in a little bit. But it all from that logic though, it's like you really gotta think about it. He's like the head of the guy. He started it all, so of course he's gonna have more of a origin background. Thus, he needs to speak more so you can see how
Mm.
all this give an idea of how all this started. You know?
Well, yeah, that's the thing, because like he's the character that like delivers the exposition. Like he's the one that explains like the law of the world to us.
Yeah, yeah.
So it kind of makes sense that he would have a lot of dialogue. But she's gonna be the one that has like all the badass scenes and all the action.
Of
So
course, like you like a
like,
lot. Like that was nice. Like I like I like how they're doing. They're staying true to the origin. You know, like I think that's good what Marvel's doing. I mean, they don't get me wrong. They may have skewed a little bit, you know, but they kind of like they're good at making the picture come together. But
mm.
anyway, I really hope Captain Marvel does well. Can't wait, hype to see it.
I did, yeah, I did Captain Marvel as a character. She used to be one of my mains on the
And you know another thing
Agents of
is,
Shield game.
I think
Yeah.
she's one of the first superheroes to be gender swapped. Like because Captain Marvel, because if I'm not mistaken, it was really
I wouldn't necessarily. Yeah. Is it
well
a gender swap?
what I think what happened was they made Miss Marvel Captain Marvel, and they made Miss
Yeah.
Marvel another character.
Yeah.
So I think that's what happened.
Yeah.
And that's what a
Well,
lot of
like
people.
she got like blood from the original guy, right? That's
Yeah,
what I remember. Like Kree, and then she got some kind of blood infusion, and then she got those powers.
yeah, yeah.
Um,
And that's what a lot of people was pissed
I
off about too.
remember, yeah, I remember some of it from I think the Earth's Mightiest Heroes cartoon, maybe another Avengers cartoon. But she's a cool character.
Yeah, yeah,
What I want to know is if we're gonna see Sword. You know about Sword? Sword is like the kind of the space shield.
yeah, 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 yeah. I know that you're talking about.
Um, I want to see whether
That
they're
might
gonna
be
have that because that would be cool.
what you got to think about. That might be in a different phase because Marvel moves through phases. So
Yeah, it might be in the next phase because yeah, I suppose Earth has to come to terms with all of these like alien shit going on.
yeah, yeah, because
And
after Thanos, okay, that's the end of this era. So we got to start a new era. So
yeah,
I think that's where they might incorporate the gender swaps too. Because I
yeah,
remember people was talking about, oh, they shouldn't change these characters, and I try to get through, people's heads that different writers do different shit. So it's like
yeah.
not all of them do the gender swap thing. Like yes, they have to be okayed by it, the corporation, but you know, it's just how it is. Like
Well, it's at the end of the day, an opportunity to tell different stories from a different perspective.
yeah, that too, and
You
also
know, sometimes your favorite character is just flavor. You know,
exactly,
it's flavor for telling certain types of stories.
exactly, like
Um, so I'm keen for new faces. Like I've always like dug the obscure titles. Like I thought when like Guardians of the Galaxy used to show up like in
I ain't gonna lie,
Spider-Man or
that was
Spider
dope.
areas, like it was hype, yeah.
Yeah, it's like
Um, and other characters, like Punisher or like Daredevil, those characters are all cool.
yeah, 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 like I like how they're divvying that up. Even though I really think Marvel,
Yeah.
they would
Marvel
never
did a really good job of setting up their worlds to where they can just plug in characters that are obscure.
exactly.
They built the world so well that it just made everything fit together.
Yeah, so
Um,
and
yep.
the thing about that is, they had controversy like like a week ago about the DCU Superman. There's a good chance he won't be back, and I really as a comic book head, I try to be not biased, but it's all about leadership. So you know, like the reason why DCU don't have the backing that Marvel has is because one, they try to do like a 3 movie build up, then do like the whole,
Yeah.
it's also inconvenient. Like it's like we know Iron Man to set it off.
Yeah.
We know that like arguably if Marvel had X-Men and Spider-Man at the beginning of the Marvel universe, it would be untouchable. Like it wouldn't be even a thought. If you want to be 100% blunt, it wouldn't even be a thought. So it's kind of I'm in,
Well, the thing is, like when you like, I've thought about this for a bit, and I think there's a few reasons why DC is having a good time, beside like not having any leadership and not planning out things. But I think on a fundamental level, DC, they tend towards having good stories with single characters. Like we enjoy Batman by himself. We enjoy, well, I'm not that big of a Superman fan, but we enjoy his stories by
well,
himself. Whereas Marvel has a lot of different IPs that have people in groups, um, and they started that whole thing of blending, like with the X-Men initially, blending those type of like soap opera stories with a group of super powered people. They just have more experience bringing teams together than DC does, in my opinion.
well, also you got to think
So,
about directors too, because
mm,
cause at the same time, from what I heard, they wanted to do that, but Warner Brothers they wanted to just expedite the process. So, you know, it just all seemed bad, And I think people have realized, whether you're a DC or Marvel fan, that the DCU don't get me wrong, it has a lot of potential, but it's not coming together because it's various different things, and that's
yeah,
unfortunate because
yeah,
I don't know. I'm dead hyped to see that Aquaman movie. I'm dead ass hyped. That's what I want to see. Because
yeah.
I mean, because
I'm
to
not.
me,
I'm not. I'm waiting to see what's gonna happen.
Aquaman always been kind of. I won't say he's obscure, but he never been on the hype of fandom that Batman Superman have been on. So I want to see how
Yeah,
they do that. Just like how you know.
but also like I would have wanted to see other stories before Aquaman. Like I would have wanted to see a Martian Manhunter first. I would have wanted to see a John Stewart Green Lantern way better than Hal Jordan. And also like a black character. So I feel like like no one really likes Aquaman. Like
Well,
he's always the one that gets dunked on. I'm keen to see how they do him in a modern setting.
Well, people was making
Uh,
jokes about how it's about to be the undersea Black Panther. That's what it's about to be. you
I'm gonna
know,
see.
that's what's about it. And I ain't gonna lie, Black Panther was a hell of a good movie. So I'm for it. I'm for it.
Yeah,
You know, but
we'll see. Yeah, I mean, only time will tell. But I don't have a lot of faith in DC movies. It's I have to wait for reviews before I go anywhere near
yeah,
those things.
I'm a sucker for punishment, so I'll probably just buy a ticket and just talk shit online how I want my money back. yeah, yeah, just be like everybody else.
You have the tweet written before you go
Yeah,
into
I
the cinema.
got I got my drafts ready. but yeah. So but like I said earlier, how I wanted to get into shit online. We live in a world where, well, an internet world where I think, and I think it's my biggest problem with things nowadays, like how people are they're aching to be outraged about something like, internet culture is starting to get in a weird place. Like
Yeah.
people are putting out information where they don't care if it's right or wrong. They just want to push their narrative, and I really think that's doing more harm than good. And the sad part about it is they always get hurt because there's a backing for bullshit online.
Hmm. Yeah, it's a tough time, I think, in the age of internet culture, which is still fairly young when you think about it in the grand scheme of things. But we do have this problem, I think, where I think everybody separates their online identity with their real identity. The thing is, you don't just go starting up random fights with people in the street because
Exactly.
it's
you
difficult to do
you
that.
punch in your face. You know.
It's just difficult to do that. Like once you remove the human interaction, you get emboldened to just like talk nonsense and not like research what you're saying. And it's not like I like like it's not like I have to write a thesis every time I write a tweet. Like I'm not saying you gotta be on that level, but you gotta kind of use a bit of empathy as to where people are coming from with the decisions that they're making or the things that they're saying before you get totally before you just flip an anger switch. Like some things are more nuanced than they seem to be. Well, most things
Well,
are. So go
well,
ahead.
yeah. My thing is like my biggest problem with the internet is that a lot of people they tend to don't care about the facts. They're trying to get it out there, like Apple, right? I've seen people
Yeah,
talking about the
they want to
iPhone.
be first. Yeah,
I've seen people talking about how the iPhone is not how you know how people it don't have the home button now, right?
yeah,
They have this people have this there's a picture going around with this dongle, and the caption says create a problem and make a solution. And the thing about that is, but let me tell you why that's bullshit. Because first of all, Apple do not sell that they don't sell dongles. Why would they? That's just like I seen it, like another thing with Apple.
yeah.
The Android was
Yeah.
Apple
I also
debate.
don't. I wouldn't think that Apple is making a dongle for a home button.
Yeah, like
That's
that's just like how somebody like a while back there was a picture floating around with the AirPods with these ear holders, basically making the earphones, and they're talking about, oh, they're just taking your money, like, and people, and the thing
yeah,
about it is people believe that, and when people call them out on the bullshit, they just, oh, well, it's buried. The truth will always be buried, and that's my biggest problem. And like me personally, when I see a viral tweet, I always look through the comments. See, let's see who has common
yeah,
sense. Let's see who knows
yeah,
what.
yeah. I also do that.
Yeah,
Whenever I see something that's kind of unbelievable, I always go through the comments to see like
like I'm not the only
converging
one tripping, right?
perspectives.
like you
Yeah,
know,
it's like, but what is your? I don't know what your opinions are on Apple as a company and Apple
well,
products. Like, do
me
you
personally,
buy that stuff?
I'm gonna be real with you. I'm an Apple elitist to some extent. But hear me out. No,
Okay,
but
yeah,
hear me out. Hear me out. It's because I know what to buy from Apple and I what not to buy from Apple. Like
yeah,
I'm not gonna sit there and buy a solid gold phone from Apple that's gonna make more money than I ever. That's gonna cost me a year's worth of work. I'm not gonna do that.
yeah,
But yeah, I'm gonna buy me an Apple Watch, buy me some AirPods. Shit that's that makes sense. Because I'm a tech head, and that's one of the things. Once you're in the Apple ecosystem, that's what it is. And don't get me wrong, Android has been up in technical prowess for a long time. It's
mm,
it's open source, so a lot of people can work on it. A lot of people can do shit that's light years ahead of Apple. But the thing is, Apple, it don't have an ecosystem first of all, so it don't really entice you to buy other things. And another thing,
yeah,
Apple has this brand where it's just very convenient. Like, let's be real. Like, a lot of people know when an Apple phone come out more than they know when an Android come out. Is that right to say?
yeah. I mean, it's a big event when when Apple makes announcements. I just watched a video from Linus Tech Tips about every time there is an Apple announcement, it messes up the whole YouTube algorithm because everybody is watching
Yeah,
reviews about iPhone.
people buying $1,000 phones, stuff like that. Look,
Yeah,
I know not to buy that. Like, I ain't gonna lie. Like, in my budget state, I cannot afford that. But,
yeah. I
but
can't afford that. Like one iPhone in South Africa is roughly six, 4 to 6 months rent for me,
yeah,
and that's ridiculous.
you know, and like I said, it's very convenient once you're in the Apple ecosystem. Like, I'm at work, all I gotta do is look at my watch and I see all my messages.
Mm,
AirPods, while you can wirelessly go to your other devices. I'm on my iPad now. I switched on my
yeah,
iPhone.
yeah.
And that's just what it is. Once you're in the ecosystem, it's very hard to get out. And and I can lie.
Yeah, but I mean, there's problems. The cost factor
Yeah, and
in my opinion, is
and
too high,
I said,
and it's also causing people to spend a
when
lot of money taking out credits just to get a new iPhone when they don't really need to, and putting themselves further
yeah,
into debt.
yeah, fuck that. So look, this is how I look at
Mm,
it, and I said this in my other video. Sony has the Apple effect, where they can just say, hey, this is what's going to happen, take it or leave it. And
mm,
once you're the winner, once you're winning, that's unfortunately the rules. So Apple, when people were talking about, oh, the headphone jack gone, oh, you not gonna buy it? We'll see about that in 6 months. And what people do, they went ahead and bought the shit. Oh, you're not gonna
yeah,
buy it unless it has a home button? We'll see. And then that's where the false information comes in, where people say, "Oh, Apple must have created this because we see it online." So it's like, no, they didn't. They said you're gonna be you're gonna be head jackless and home screen buttonless. You know,
Yeah.
it'd be it's just stupid. And I feel like back to what I was saying, a lot of people they don't fact check shit. They just want to go with the narrative. It's like I seen a post
Yeah.
on like I just seen a post on Facebook, and what they did was, they was basically saying the new iPhone is in 2014, and the new Samsung or Android device, I forgot which one it was, it's in 2018. That's so okay. You know how they list all the strengths of the phone. Now I'm like, well, first of all, what you're doing is you're comparing the lowest brand of iPhone to the newest brand of what you call it. So first of all, that's bullshit. Second of all, you're only listing certain parts about that phone. Like you're not gonna
Yeah.
like just to get the narrative. You know what I'm saying? Like get the narrative across that. Now don't get me. And like I said
Yeah.
again, Apple. They do things on their own time. That's what it is. You know.
Yeah.
So they can
No,
when
no,
they
I get it. Like I understand why people like Apple products. I mean, they do have a whole ecosystem going, and they do tend towards a more elegant design and user friendliness. But like to people like me living in a third world country, I'll sacrifice that stuff to pay a fourth of the price.
oh definitely.
Um,
You know. Even here,
but
like
I think it most of the time it comes down to what you want out of those type of products and whether you're willing to sacrifice in certain areas for other things. But I
yeah,
still do feel like it's overpriced. But
it
also,
is.
like,
It
I feel
is.
like the Samsung flagships are also overpriced. Like, I'm not gonna buy a Samsung or a iPhone. I'm more likely to buy like a cheap, like Chinese brand that's
No,
not as big.
yeah,
But
I get it.
yeah, that's just me.
Like honestly, I'll be to the point where I feel like you know when it comes to technology, you got to know the do's and don't. Like, believe it or not, this
Mhm.
in this day and age, there's still people that don't know certain shit, so they just they see it brand new. Oh, let's get it. It's always a lot of people don't tend to bother with their research. They just go ahead, and that's really my whole point about the internet culture. A lot of people they don't just do research on their own. They can see, and
Yeah,
this what pains me the most. When people do the research and they try to tell others, the ignorant people that don't know, the truth get buried. So, and that's unfortunate. The facade stays on top, and the truth get buried. Just like how we was talking about how people being fake outraged about you know even with the Devil May Cry shit. Like a lot of people aren't. I seen the headlines using real money. Like, of course you're gonna use real money, especially in a single player game. What are you gonna make? So people use
mm,
certain words, certain trigger words to get people riled up about certain things. And a lot of times people they say part of what's going on. Like I bet you see a lot of people online when they read headlines, they don't bother reading the articles. They just go ahead and just read the headline and run with it. So
mm,
in turns, and we're gonna hit on this right now, journalism is turning to shit. Is because all they got to do is write a fire ass headline. A lot of people are not gonna bother to open it. And so that's where plagiarism come in at. You know, a lot of times, like, hey, people ain't going to read this anyway, so I might as well just copy it just in case. A lot
mm,
like a lot of people talking about journalism integrity, and once again, it always go back to spreading false information. You know, a lot of times,
yeah,
you see little cute shit online like, oh, when you see a headline, oh, you have to say it like this, gets a bunch of attention. And a lot of times they be spreading false information too. So you're kind of correct somebody on, and it's just
yeah,
really confusing. So I really think that's my biggest problem with the internet right now is fake outrage and agenda pushing. You know, I really hate that if it's backing for bullshit nowadays. and it's only gonna get worse because
Yeah,
it's transitioning into real life, you know. Like we have,
yeah.
like we have things
It's
where that's why I
painful
always said
sometimes.
that's why I always said that whatever I say online, I'm not gonna delete it. I'm not gonna make clear my image. It is who I am, because I always think
Yeah,
before I tweet shit. We got people that dig up some shit from like what 10 years ago. Go and fuck up your bag. That's the whole reason why the Guardians of the Galaxy and 3 is up in it stopped because motherfuckers they wanted the shit to be mad about. People don't believe in growth. People don't believe in changing. It be a lot of people just want to be mad at something, and I don't get it. It just fucking sucks.
yeah. Well, the thing is, like, if you there's also this thing about we reward that type of behavior. Like, the thing people make it seem like if you point out someone else being bad, that automatically makes you good. But that's not true.
Bad people
But
all the
people
time.
don't understand that. There are bad people out there that seem like good people, and there are good people out there that make mistakes and grow. Because at the end of the day, we're all human. None of us are like born perfect or anything. It's it's just a weird thing where people don't realize that the username that you're talking to, across your screen is a person.
Yes, it's a real person.
And yeah, and you've got to keep that consideration in mind all the time.
It's just a
And
weird
I
place.
think it's. I hope that one day we can get to that point. I don't know. Maybe it'll take like the internet going over to VR or something where you can actually see people.
Go
I
start
don't know.
snuffing people. Just start punching people. Man, 'cause I'm all for it. You know,
Punching VR people.
man, and I hope you feel it too. But that's near here. So I just wanted to address that real quick. And back to what I said earlier in the podcast where I kind of Spider-Man. There's a rumor that Spider-Man, the company Insomniac, is going to be acquired by Sony. Now, that's that was writing on the wall. That's pretty good. I really hope they go through with that. Make it. Somebody told me, and I don't know if it's true or not. That's the beginning of the Marvel game universe. I'm not 100% sure on that, but that'd be fucking dope if they did. Um,
Yeah, I mean there
I mean,
is
I would buy them if they.
an Avengers game in the works, and I think it's being published by Square Enix, and it's being developed by a Sony first-party studio. I can't remember which one.
Yeah.
Um, but there is an Avengers game being made. I
Oh, I
forgot
know you're
the
talking
name
about
of that.
Square Enix. They're Square Enix. They're
Yeah.
supposed to be making one. We just
Well, they're
talked.
publishing it, but I don't know whether Square Enix Studios are making it.
Yeah. I don't believe that.
That another company
I
is.
don't. I don't. I don't believe it'll see the light of day if it is. Uh, but anyway, yeah. So shout out to them. Hope they
You
doing.
straight think it's not going to come out,
I.
the Avengers game.
I. you know, I'm surprised. I'm still in shock
Why do
that.
you think that?
I mean, cause I'm surprised that Kingdom Hearts is barely coming out. Remember they was pulling our leg for years with that one. It's hard to believe.
Yeah, but those are different studios though. I don't think Square Enix is developing this game. They're publishing it. The developers will really do it quickly. I know it's one of Sony's first party studios.
Well, I hope we get it soon. Cause like I said on my top 10s video, I really hope we get like something along the line of Marvel Ultimate Alliance because that game was badass. And if you haven't played it, shame on you. That's a childhood game. Well, that's a teen year game. When I was a teenager.
It's
Like,
Crystal Dynamics are developing it. So those are the people who developed Tomb Raider.
oh hell yeah, the graphics gonna be
Yeah.
nice then. But yeah. So
Crystal Dynamics alongside Eidos Montreal. So it seems like it's got backing. It's developers Tomb Raider and Deus Ex.
okay, so that's pretty good.
Yeah, it's not like Square Enix Studios, like the guys who take years to make one bloody Final Fantasy game. Those guys, yeah, we can expect that in 2040 maybe.
Yeah, I'll buy when I'm 40 years old.
Yeah.
But yeah. So I hope to wish the best for them. Because Spider-Man, I'm so glad I copped the collector's edition. I had to get it. It was a good game. It was definitely a
Well,
good game.
unfortunately, it's in my backlog for December holidays,
Oh,
I
don't
haven't really had
worry. My
time now to play it.
my backlog is ugly. Like, it's like the gameplay that you probably gonna like. Cause I'm gonna upload this with gameplay. It's probably gonna be some shit I need to play. So, like here, get some footage and some gameplay. Cause man, I like to get games and I don't play them immediately. Like it's like okay, I got it, it's secured. But yeah. So next thing, you pay attention to the Tokyo Game Show?
TGS, no, I wasn't paying attention. I saw a few headlines from it
Well,
and a few trailers.
there's a few things. There's only two things I'm really hyped for. At the same time, I'm not hyped for. We already discussed. We was going. I'll talk to you in the comments. Jump Force. That's pretty interesting. And let me say, now that we got more information about it, it kind of comes off to me as the Xenoverse of anime, because they're doing that whole dimension. It made sense when they said Toriyama. You know what Toriyama is, right? Yeah. Toriyama, he's having a hand in it, so we're gonna have the crossing dimensions, make your own character shit. And there's a tweet that had me laughing. I think you've seen it. Somebody said it's gonna be the anime Sonic Forces, and I started dying.
Jeez.
Like y'all foul for that. You right, but you foul for that. Like that's the new wave, just making multiverse and make your own hero. But yeah, there's a game particularly that I'm hyped for. Is Tales of Vesperia, and it's only because I never got a chance to play it because like we was talking about, I was mostly PS3, in that generation. So Tales of Vesperia was a Xbox exclusive, so now I'm glad it's coming out for all systems. But like I said in my
I never got a chance to play any of the Tales games.
You're missing out, bro.
I just never had time. Yeah. I mean, I heard it's great.
It's what got me. It's what got me into JRPGs. I put it like that.
The Tales games, that's interesting.
Yeah, like I played Golden Sun. It was like okay, it's cool, it's cool. But like no, Tales games. See, that's like with me and Final Fantasy. I never played Final Fantasy.
You haven't played Final Fantasy?
No, I
haven't. The Dragon Quest?
No.
I'm guessing you played Persona. I haven't played Persona yet.
It depends. Like, depending on what Persona you're asking me with, it might be the greatest game of all time, and I'm sticking to that. Nobody
greatest,
the greatest of all time.
The goat. Yeah.
The goat.
I still need to. Yeah, I need to get into it, but also like I was a bit sad I didn't end up getting Dragon Quest 11. It's gonna have to wait till December. Yeah. Dragon Quest is cool, man. It's the original character designs were designed by Akira Toriyama as well. So there's a lot of characters that look like Goku and
I thought they had similar art style. So I'm like, but you never know. It's like, I don't be up on it.
Yeah, I mean, but Toriyama's art is quite like distinct. You can usually pick art like when he's designed the character.
Yeah. Yeah, but other than that, another game I'm looking out for is Persona Q2. Is basically the Persona on the 3DS games. Really, just Persona. It's like a crossover Persona game. So Persona game from 3, 4, and 5, they're gonna be in the game. So I'm kind of hyped for that. I'm probably gonna make a video on that. Like if you want to get ready for people that want to get into the series. So anybody that's listening, they might want to wait for that. Now another thing I want to get and talk about is are you watching any type of anime right now?
Anime, right now I'm just watching Boku no Hero Weekly, and I'm trying to catch up on old anime, but it's tough.
It's funny because every other day, and that's what really sparked this topic. I really think My Heroes like shit talking only exists online. You really won't hear it on any other.
But I mean, like, what are they saying? Like, what are they?
Well, they're just saying that the main character is boring. That's basically what they're saying. And for me,
what way though?
But but that goes back to what we was talking about in the narrative, where when people just saying, They just want to say shit and just get it out there. And I keep asking people
Yeah,
online, and nobody ever answered this question. Why is there such a big fixation on this imps? And I come to the realization that it's like the new generation of anime, and most people don't want to accept that. They're just like how nobody. I'm gonna be real with you. Nobody really pays attention to Boruto. Dragon Ball is gonna be Dragon Ball, and One Piece is it's One Piece is becoming new to Westerners every day. Even though most people know it's the highest selling
yeah. I
manga.
gave up on watching One Piece. I just read the manga now.
Yeah. Me too. Me too. Um, but everybody knows they're staples. Even Bleach is a staple. Even though people say Bleach always, since they did it in the manga, it's always gonna be like fourth tier. And I really think, like I said, it's a new generation of anime. That's just what it is. You know, and a
Yeah,
lot of people don't accept. That's like the narrative that when people say One Piece is boring, it's too long, blah blah blah. But then when I bring up, well, people sat up and watched Dragon Ball for 4 different seasons. They say, oh well, Dragon Ball it had different transitions. One Piece has been long. Shit like that.
One Piece is like One Piece is like a medium by itself. Like it's not even. It's such a mainstay that I don't even think you can like call it like anime or manga at this point. It's like its own thing. It's
Yeah,
just
it
the
has.
one thing that will always be there until Ichiro Oda dies.
Knock on some
Um,
wood. Knock on some wood. They gonna know who to come back
well, I
to.
mean, didn't he only say recently that he was like halfway through the story or something?
No,
Or maybe 3/4.
I read a report that he's like 8% done. So he about to
80.
yes.
Okay.
So I ain't
So
gonna
it's
lie.
about to wrap shit up. Well, I mean, after Brooke went and traced all of the pornoglyphs, I would suspect, well, from Big Mom, I would suspect that that they don't have much
And they're
more
on now all
that they figure out.
spoilers. I don't want to spoil nobody. So if you're a
Mm.
One Piece head, skip to this. For
Yeah,
um.
I totally forgot to put a spoiler warning.
No, it's okay.
Uh,
Just pop up 30 seconds. I would suspect that too because they're having this they have Sahil of somebody sitting on the throne. So you would think that'd be like the final boss. So okay, that's like
yeah,
okay. So yeah, a lot of questions.
yeah.
Then but
One Piece it's fucking deep, bro.
yeah,
Like,
and
it seems shallow, I think, to some people who don't understand, but like there's hectic like political stuff going on that will only come to actually come into effect right at the end.
yeah, and
Um,
that's my thing. I only really see bad shit about One Piece online. It's only online, and it'd be from people that say, "Oh, well, I tried to give it a try. It's too long. It's boring," and it's like, but it's like back to my point, and I could also come to the theory that I feel like since there's a big following behind it, there's always gonna have people that are gonna have to anti-hype it. They're just human nature.
yeah,
I think they're just human
yeah,
nature at this point where people have to anti-hype shit. So, and it's very unfortunate that people think like
yeah,
that. Um,
yeah. But I don't know, like if you don't watch something, like why are you gonna go and anti-hype it? Like you got no reason to have an opinion on it if you haven't
it just
seen it.
like I said, there's a backing behind anti-hyping shit. So,
Mm,
an outrage. So, like I've seen people online talk shit about One Piece because people was excited about liking it online. So, it's just like
yeah, and I'm not saying like One Piece is like the best of the best. There's some parts of it I don't like the way like the girls have been portrayed after New World. I feel like
well,
Ichiro Oda could have done better, but I think it's like the publishers just trying to like sell like copies,
well,
and it's not really the author doing that.
this is my thing. Like, there's something I'm not even current on One Piece right now. Like, I have some
Mm,
chapters I have like 10 chapters to read. But that's just me. I'm not an anime head like I used to be.
yeah,
That's
I
just
have
me.
the skills, but
But it's just like some of the shit I read about Naruto. You know, it's just like I said, the shit only exists online. Like, yeah, spoiler alert. Skip ahead 30 seconds if you haven't. the ending with Naruto, there's some critics, there's some fair criticisms with it, but I don't like how people just try to say it was a bad anime altogether. It was not. It wouldn't do good if it was. That's what
Yeah,
you know.
yeah.
I think, and the thing about